My name is Jura Alexander.
I'm Kelsey Bialo.
And we skate for Skyliners Senior.
Skyliners Senior is the highest level on the Skyliners synchronized skating team, which is based in the New York area in the United States. Skyliners Senior has been around now this is our 8th season, I believe. And last year was our first time representing the U.S. World Team, and we are back on the international stage this season.
I think we're also very excited to compete. I think the other thing I would add is this year's Skyliners has grown to have 16 lines out of 3 different states and areas, so very big.
We're very proud to be the senior team.
So I started skating when I was 5 at a rink in my hometown, and after that continued on all the way on to college out in Boston, and now I've actually graduated college working in Connecticut, and it's been 18 years.
And I picked up synchro at a local rink. I actually saw a flyer hanging for Skyliners, and I've been with the organization now for 11 seasons. So I started synchro with Skyliners, and I've continued all the way now through college.
Oh, my best synchro memory.
There are a lot.
Best synchro memory would definitely be back in 5th grade, winning my first national championship at the juvenile level. And after that, hooked for life. That's for sure.
Absolutely. I was going to say the same thing. My first national championship, my first national title when I was in 6th grade with Skyliners Juvenile. There's something really life-changing about that moment that gets you hooked on the sport and makes you never want to leave.
We're still here.
Yes.
That one's easy. Last year's short program. Skating to Beyonce. I Was Here, or is that the name of the song?
Yeah.
I Was Here. You gotta think back to it now. It was one of those programs where you just started and it made you think back on everything of why you were doing it, why you were here. And I think the whole team as a whole really related to it, and the emotion just came out. And it was something where when we skated together, you could see that everyone's eyes kind of teared up because we were doing this because we loved being there and we just loved skating.
Absolutely. Other than that program, which would also be one of my favorites, Skyliners Junior skated to Les Mis about 3 years ago. And that was a really powerful program for me because I'd loved that music since I was a child. And so being able to skate to it was amazing. And the program had a lot of different emotions and different feels in it. So as a skater, you were able to show a lot of different sides. And that was definitely one of my favorites.
So I must say, out of all the years I've done synchro, I really do love Skyliners dresses. And before I even joined Skyliners, it was something I'd look back at and be like, I just want a Skyliners dress. But I really like this year's long dress. It's a dark maroon color, and I just think it's very flattering on everyone, and it's very elegant. So I just really like that one.
I would agree with that. But my first year on Skyliners Junior, we skated to Evita, and we had these very elegant red dresses. And for me, skating for Skyliners Junior had been a goal since I first started with Skyliners. So finally wearing the bedazzled dress that you only get at the junior and senior levels, and I just remember feeling so elegant and so proud to be wearing that.
There's so many things that this sport taught me. Something that, thinking back, I think depending on where you are, it teaches you to be humble, teaches you how to look at your competitors, not only as competitors, but as friends and people to help motivate you. It teaches you how to be a teammate and how to take the ice, knowing that you're not skating for yourself, you're not doing this for yourself, but doing it for everyone out there, and knowing that sometimes that takes sacrifice. And if you want to go hang out with your friends the night before, might not be the best decision because you want to do what's best for your team at the end of the day.
I would say it teaches you how to work hard. It teaches you how to be humble and be confident in your own abilities, but also respect the abilities of your teammates and your competitors. It teaches you how to manage your time, absolutely, especially competing at higher levels, and how to really be dedicated and committed to something that's bigger than just you. You're not only accountable to yourself, but to all of your teammates and the sport, the team, the country that you represent.
Get involved first. And then once you're involved, it's not always going to be easy. There's going to be years or there's going to be competitions that are harder than others, but don't give up. It's one of those things where you can't just start expecting to do well and win every time. There's going to be struggles, and to keep going through those struggles, because at the end of the day, it's rewarding.
I also always tell younger skaters not to measure yourself against your teammates, because they're not the people you're competing with. If they have a strength in one element that maybe you struggle with, that's okay. And everyone has to work hard at whatever they need to improve on. And measuring yourself against people is not the best way to improve. You just have to look at where you started and how you grow and where you end up. Yes,
we do. We have a few warm-up songs that we have to warm up to and we have to sing. On the bus, we all sit next to the same person on the bus on the way to every competition, and we sing the same songs every time. And it's something where it's comforting to look at your teammate next to you just belting out the top of your lungs, knowing, like, you know what, no cares in the world, like, this is where I want to be, this is who I am.
Yeah. None of us can sing, by the way. We're all terrible. But we always sing Defying Gravity, to be specific. And a song from Mulan is one of our locker room songs. So a lot of it are sort of superstitious. People eat the same color starburst. But mostly like connecting with a person that you're really close with, or a couple people, and sort of getting each other pumped up and saying you're proud of each other, you can do this, you're going to blow everyone away. I think a couple people have rituals that we do every time.
Honestly, when I take the ice and I hear the name, it's for a second I just kind of take a deep breath and I'm like, all right, this is it. This is the last 10 seconds of quiet before I start. Take a deep breath. Get yourself in that mindset you want to have before you skate. And then what I appreciate that the team does is we all get together and we say 1, 2, 3 and all set the pose at the same time. And there's just a collective breath that we kind of take that's like, all right, we're going to do this.
For me, because I've had so many years with Skyliners, even if they say USA, the same thing is like, even if I'm in a foreign arena that I don't know very well and I have a lot of nerves, like hearing the name of my team is really comforting, because it's something that I'm so familiar with, and I know that there are people there that I'm close to, and knowing that you're out there with that team and carrying that team name is a lot more comforting than feeling like you're alone in the nerves. So. Yeah.
Yeah, so start with the short program. The short program this year is to What a Wonderful World. It's a very powerful piece, so it's not your typical, I think, light, What a Wonderful World. It's a little dark, where when you think about it, someone like, think of the glaciers melting. It's like, it's what a wonderful world. Like, this is our world, and we're destroying it in front of you. So it's like, think about saving it and how wonderful things could be if we went out there and saved it, but it's not always that way.
Absolutely. And then our free program is to music from the opera Turandot, so most especially the famous piece Nessun Dorma. And it's a love story that's told particularly through two of our teammates. And we all pour a lot of emotion into it so that you're able to tell the story as the program goes on. And it builds beautifully. It's very powerful and very moving, especially at the end. So our goal is to draw that emotion out of the audience.
I think the goal for this team is to just keep developing each competition. Last year we took some major steps forward, which were exciting for us, and it's essentially the same team this year with maybe 1 or 2 new skaters. So the goal is to each competition get on the ice, go out and how we skate like we skate in practice, and then just keep developing, putting more motion to it, making it cleaner and sharper, and hopefully ultimately getting to nationals and having probably two of the best skates we can hope for.
And last year was also Skyliners Senior's first debut at the World Championships. It was our first year on the U.S. World Team. So if we're fortunate enough to work hard and attain that spot again, I think we hope to just keep making our mark on the international stage between now and nationals. And then if we make it to Worlds, having the skates that really sum up all of the hard work and everything that we've been doing and putting into this season.
I think one of the strengths of our team is that we're all very different. I think most people look at that as a weakness, but we look at that as a strength, where we have people that are very small and easy to lift, and they're easy to throw around and just do tricks with. And then we have also people on the team that are very strong, and then those that are very expressive. And when we look at each other, we know what each other's strengths are, and we're like, all right, how do I adapt that for myself to make myself better? And I think that's something that we've done really well over the past 2 years, and I think we're excited to continue doing.
Weaknesses, give me the hard one. I think one of our weaknesses sort of comes naturally with our practice schedule. It's great. We all come from very different places, so we have probably 8 or 9 U.S. states, and people drive 2, 3, 4 hours to get to practice. But because of that, we practice Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays together, and that's the only time that we get. So sometimes it's hard for us to keep up the progress we've made one weekend or one practice going into the next weekend when we don't have all the time together. So I think that's definitely something we're working on, is keeping our progress consistent and making our corrections and making our changes from practice to practice. I think we have incredibly dedicated coaching staff, and they are always there for their skaters, and they all work so hard and they work together. And also, we have to give it to the parents and the skaters. We have a really committed group of parents of 250 skaters about, who are all in it. I mean, it takes a village even for one to get one skater through. So we are very grateful for all of our parents and our volunteers, and I think that's it. I mean, it's a massive group effort on behalf of everybody.
Well, since I started synchro, 18 years ago now, it's changed dramatically. Just in terms of the number of teams, I think the expansiveness of some of the competitions. We have multiple competitions in the U.S. now that are drawing hundreds of teams, which is amazing to see. What I really enjoy is seeing the number at the lower levels and hoping that they stay and continue through the sport. So this year we have 16 junior teams going to nationals, which I think is the first time we've ever had that many, which is exciting. And I'm hoping that most of those kids stay in and move up to senior to keep developing it at the senior level now.
Also, we'll do a little plug right now for the U.S. DREAM program, which stands for Determination, Responsibility, Education, Achievement, and Motivation. So it's a group of between 10 and 12 junior and senior U.S. skaters who are meant to promote the development of synchronized skating. So we do a lot of promotional camps around the U.S. during the summer, and a lot of social media work that can get spread around. And I think it's just helping younger kids. As you said, there are so many younger lines now and so many younger skaters. It helps to motivate them to keep pushing, and like, if these are the dreams that you aspire, or the people you aspire to be or be like, that can be a really powerful motivator and a big push for the sport altogether.
I think in order for the sport to evolve more, we need to have a bigger just presence in general, where when not necessarily walking down the street, but even walking to an ice rink, having more understanding what synchro is, and from whether it be hockey parents or other skating parents, so that they understand what's going on in the sport. Because I think it has changed a lot, and the understanding of it has not always evolved with the development of the sport itself. So I think in the media, in the way it's portrayed through the rinks, through just different outlets, it needs to continue to grow.
I would completely agree. I think a lot of the other disciplines of skating have been taken as the norm now, and a lot of the media coverage, especially on over synchro, is a lot of like, look at this new discipline that's coming out when we've really been around for such a long time. So sort of making that push to normalize it within local rinks on a national media level is a really important step.